We are in Dohnavur Fellowship campus, and I would like to show you how we maintain the biodiversity and the natural resources. So, here you can see the tree grove, and everywhere you can see the leaf litter, and here you can see a cleanly swept path. So, many people who come first to Dohnavur Fellowship, they ask why everywhere it is sort of very unclean and it is not swept cleanly, why the paths are like this. So, the basic philosophy behind that is we follow the concept leave the leaves, because trees, they produce leaves, and after the function is over, the leaves are shed and it is again recycled back as nutrients to the tree. So, this we value that cycle of nutrient cycle for the trees, and as a philosophy we value the circle of natural rhythms. So, wherever you see, you can see the soil intact. So, I will take you inside the grove. You can come here. See, you can see the bare soil here, and here it is littered with leaves. We do not call this waste because this is leaf litter. So, and you see the number of saplings which have grown here. There are countless number of saplings which are seeds were dropped by the birds, and without any nutrition, without any tending, they grow, and they have 100% success in when the seed grows into seedlings. Whereas if you see that area where the soil is barren, none of the seeds grow, they are just left to lie down here. See, for human eyes this may look like very nice, but this soil is dead, there is nothing here, no life. So, but here it is full of life. So, we try to keep the paths as minimum as possible and try to keep the soil as much as with the leaf litter, and it has so many benefits. For example, it keeps the soil moisture intact, it is an abode for all the soil living organisms, and it helps trees retain the nutrients back, and also it keeps in check the soil erosion. For example, last week we had a massive rainfall, a cloudburst of almost 160 millimeter fell in just 1 hour, but in our campus there was no visible sign of any soil erosion because of the leaf, how we maintain the leaves. Some people, they want to take away all the leaf, and they want to keep the place clean in from the eyes of humans, you know. But what I say is, when you take, maybe where you are walking, let it be clean, let there be no leaf litter or nothing like that. But when you are sweeping everything under the tree, it is injustice done to the tree. Because I will tell you an example. If we want a bowl of rice, a very tedious process is involved. First, we have to plant the rice in seed bed. Then after a few days, we have to transplant it again. Then the paddy grows for nearly 90 to 100 days. You have to tend it, nurture it. You have to control the weeds, everything. Then after that you harvest it, then you have to process the paddy into rice. Then after the rice comes into the house, you have to cook it again. Then when you are trying to eat it, if somebody comes and snatch it away from your hand, how would you feel? Suppose you had been the farmer, after having put all the hard work, suppose somebody comes and takes the rice away from your hand. That's what we do when we take away the leaves from the ground under the trees, because they work so hard, they stand in wind, rain, sunshine, they produce leaves, they give us immense benefits by way of oxygen, but they produce their own nutrients, and when they want to recycle it, when they are about to take it to the roots, we are removing it. It's such an injustice we are doing to the trees. So, please remember that we should not do this. And I will also show you other benefits of keeping the leaves intact. Yeah, so we are living in a semi-arid area. We get just around 30-35 inches, around 800-900 millimeters per year, and the rainfall is, the period is also very short. It is confined to not more than 30-35 days. So, rest of the 300-330 days, the plants have to bear the brute sunshine of the tropics. So, but if their roots are kept in a very good condition because of this mulch, I think that will greatly help the trees. They can conserve the moisture and they can give their optimum benefits to us human beings also. And yes. And also we all build nice houses. You can see some of our houses. In fact, they are very simple dwellings. But if you go to the town and villages, we see we are building, each one of us, 800 to 1500 square feet houses. But where will the birds and other things go? They all depend on these trees for making the temporary dwellings. And if we remove this mulch, eventually the trees will die off and all those birds will also disappear. So there are so many things attached to keeping the leaves intact with the soil. So I also would like to talk about whatever vegetable matter after dead, how we do about that. Suppose if a tree dies in a small grove, maybe there are 100 trees. Suppose 3 trees have died. So what do? We don't take all the trees or all the dead branches, because we know some dead tree branches are needed for some organisms which thrive on only dead matter. So a portion of it we leave it in the same grove, so that the organisms can thrive, and also it helps recycle the nutrients. For example, you can see the dead tree here. Yeah, part of it we have taken for firewood and other purposes, and some of it we leave it lying here. Likewise, dry twigs also. We don't remove all the dry twigs and all the dead matter. Part of it we leave it here itself. So we follow the Albert Schweitzer motto, the reverence for life, and also waste not, want not by Amy Carmichael. So it implies that we should not waste any of the resources, and in nature there is nothing called waste. Only humans, we produce things which cannot be recycled. So we try to minimize using that. And here you can see the effect of leaf litter and the mulch. See, thousands of little ones are here. This is a Adentonia pavonia tree. So you can see thousands of saplings have sprouted up. You don't need to have a nursery, plastic bags or anything like that. You can just take this and plant it somewhere else. This is a natural nursery. So you don't have to work very hard. Please, we must never go against the rhythms of nature, but we must learn to work along with the nature, along with the grain. We should not go against the grain. So it can save so much money, so much manpower. Suppose if you want to have a nursery, you have to collect the seed, put soil, put water, and put nutrients, everything. But when you have everything here, it automatically becomes a nursery. And nature always gives in abundance. So the extra saplings we can plant it somewhere. So these are some of the visible effects of keeping the leaves intact, leave the leaves concept. So this is just enough for a human to pass, Both says you need not remove the leaves. So this is a prime example. So this side there are trees, this side there are trees, and you need to walk. So only this is enough for us to pass on, and we can keep this place without leaves and leaf litter, because the children there may be some insects. So otherwise we can keep both sides just intact. I will just show you how rich the soil is. Just see how porous it is. It's full of humus. It is a dynamic living soil.